What's up guys, right here. This is the final part for the combat tutorial series. And this one we're gonna do blocking and block break. So I wanna do this. Yeah, let's get started. I don't wanna do this though. Okay, so for this to work, right, we're gonna need a folder in starter pack. And this folder will hold both the combat script and the blocking script, right? I'm gonna just call this combat system, and the local script I'm gonna call it blocking. And I want to do this. Yeah, so we're gonna insert an object inside of the folder. This is gonna be a bool value, right? And this bool value is gonna be called block break. I want to call it block break. What I want to do is broke. I'm gonna do is broken. So is broken is gonna mean if you're blocking, it's like broken. So what we want to do is reference this block inside of the combat local script. So we're gonna do local is broken is equal to script.parent wait for child is broken, right? And then in this if statement we're gonna do if dbounce is equal to false and is blocking broken dot value I want to put two values actually. No. We're gonna do this. Is broken dot value is equal to false, right? So if it's equal to false, then we'll continue. So now what we want to do is make service script and service script service. Since we're not using like module scripts, I'm gonna have to do this like in a different way. But we're just gonna call this blocking system, and then we're gonna go to replicated storage, duplicate that, call it block. So now we're gonna do local player is equal to game get service players. Local player local RP is equal to game get service replicated storage local block is equal to RP wait for child block. It seems weird. I have no idea why though. Just speed this up. I'm just gonna copy this, right? And then we're gonna do local dbounce is equal to false. Local cooldown is equal to, let's say, a 3-second cooldown for blocking, right? So now what we want to do is how do we want to go about this? If statements, and we're gonna do a blocking hold system, so you gotta hold the button. Combat is mouse button 1, so blocking will be Q. We're just gonna say blocking is Q. So local, well not local, but UIS dot input begin colon connect function input is typing then, and then we're gonna do another variable and we're gonna call it active. So we're gonna call it is active, right? And then we're gonna do if is typing and then return else if input dot key code is equal to enum dot key code dot q then, and then we're gonna copy this function, right? We're gonna paste it right below it, we're going to change input begin to input ended, right? So this is when we let go, and this is when we press the button. So press button, let go, right? So now we're gonna have to do a few things. We're gonna make another function. We're gonna do since the remote is called block, we're gonna do block. I just had a brain fart. Dot on client event connect function wait cd bounce is equal to false, active is equal to false, right? So what we want to do now is make an if statement. So if the bounce is equal to false and is broken is equal to false. Well, is broken dot value, since it's a object value or bool value. So we want to do that, right? Then we want to do if is active is equal to false. Then so if active is equal to false, then it changes is active is equal to true, right? And then you want to fire the remote, so we're going to do block fire server is active. We're going to send is active in there, right? And then we want to copy like this line, right? And then we're going to do if is active is equal to false. I mean not false, true, because this is the let go button. Then what we want to do is set is active to false and debounce to true, right? So that none of these can run until debounce is set back to false from the cooldown. And I just like to have is active here as well, just like a safety measure, just in case. And then we're gonna do block fire server, and then is active again, right? So we're gonna grab these two lines at the top, go to the server script, paste them. We're going to do block that on server event connect function player, and then remember we're sending is active in, so we're going to do that, right? So now we're going to open up the old combat system. I'm going to have these, like, we're going to have to work with both of them, right? So what we're going to do is reference local character equal to player dot character local humanoid is equal to character wait for child humanoid. Okay, so now we need block animations, right? So let me just create a dummy real quick. And we're just gonna make like a simple block animation. So let's do, so we're just gonna do like a simple block, which is only gonna affect the arms since we move the arms. Actually let's do upper torso too, and also head as well. And we're gonna do, just gonna add keyframes to those. Okay, so the pretty much the upper part of the body shouldn't move. So when the way I'm doing this is gonna be a looping animation. So toggle looping on. So animation priority to action, export, and then what we want to do is we're gonna export this is blocking first. So once we've done that, we can close this out. What you want to do is go to replicator first, and remember the preloader. You want to right click, insert object, animation object, right? And we're gonna call this block, right? Now we want to get the value of, well, not the value, but the the ID, the animation ID for it. So we're gonna go to Roblox animations, well, my creations, animations, and then we see blocking. Click it up. So after you click it, copy it, go to Studio, paste it in, and then you want to do is copy that, right? And then we're going to go to the blocking system, right click on it. Do I want to? Yeah, we're gonna do a folder. We'll insert a folder, right click the folder, and paste inside. Then we're gonna call this animations, and then since we have the block, right, now we're gonna make another file, right, folder. I'm gonna call this meshes. This is where like the block break effect is gonna be at. So now for the blocking system, we're back here. I'm gonna reference animation folder, animations, and the meshes folder. So now what we want to do is if is active is equal to true. So this will say if this is true, or if you are blocking, and then we're going to drop a line and do else if is active is equal to false. Then if you released blocking, so if you stop blocking, if you stop the blocking, yeah, let's do it that way. Okay, so now we need to play the animation, like the blocking animation, which is looping, right? So we're going to do local, let's just call it anim, and then humanoid load animation, animations, wait for child block, right? We're going to play anim. So now when we test this, what should happen is we should be able to block, like the animation like pops up and we're able to block, but we can't stop the animation because I didn't add that yet. So if we click Q, I can let go of Q and it won't run again because we have the debounces in place, and it won't stop the animation because I didn't put that in the code yet. So we have the blocking, and then when I do and the false statement, right, we're gonna do a loop, so for underscore, because we don't need I mean you can put I just so it's not like complicated, and then we're gonna do animation anims. Actually, we're gonna do anims in pairs. So this is going to get the current playing animations of your humanoid. So what we want to do is humanoid dot get playing animation tracks, right? Do, and then if anims dot name is equal to block, because that's the name of the animation track, right? Then anims dot stop, or colon stop. So now when we test this, we should be able to block, and when we let go of Q, it should stop the block. So let's do this. Hold Q, let go of Q, bam. Okay, so now we're gonna just toggle the cooldown. So just go to the bottom, not like make sure it's still inside of this function. So I want to do block fire client, player. And I believe it's at 3. Yep, 3. Okay. So now we need to create an object for which the combat system will look for in order to determine if the player is blocking. So I just like to use bool values. So I'm gonna do local what I do block action, right? We're gonna call it block action. Is equal to instance dot new bool value, right? And then we're gonna parent the bool value to our humanoid, and then we're gonna name block action, like the block action's name to block action right there. So now what we want to do is reference that as well here so we can remove it. So block action is equal to humanoid find first child, then block action, if block action, then block action destroy. So if we test this, we're gonna go to workspace and explore while we're testing. We're gonna click on our character, go to our humanoid, and as we see, we'll see like all this different types of stuff, but we don't see block action because I haven't activated block. But if I press Q, like hold Q, you see block action pops up, and then when I let go of it, oh, I just freaking bugged out. Hold up. It's because UIS using is typing. It's like you were interacting with the UI. So let's do this. Make sure I'm still in the game and not interacting with this over here. Alright. So hold Q, let go of Q. 3-second cooldown, and you've seen it disappeared as well. So that works. Okay. So now this is pretty much it for blocking. The rest will be handled in the combat system script. Sorry for the weird cut. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we need another animation, like the block break animation for the character. I believe I have one, so I'm gonna grab that real quick and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a block break animation, right? Make sure you export it. And then you want to do the same thing like we did with the block animation. So go to replicate it first, insert the animation object. I'm gonna call it break. I'm gonna get the ID of your block animation. So, wait, let me refresh the page. You should see it pop up. Block break, yep. And come back, paste it inside, copy it, right? And then we're gonna go to the combat system script, and we're going to paste it inside of enemy animations, right? So now we have break. We're gonna open up the combat system, and then we're gonna go to e-anims, and then we're gonna do enemy animations, wait for child, and then we're gonna do break because that's the name of the animation that we need. What else do we need? We need the effect. So I'm just gonna grab an effect that I have in my meshes. If you have your own meshes with like particles, you can do whatever you want. But I'm gonna just like use a mesh for this. Let me find just like a ring mesh, pretty much. scrolling down. There we go. You want to do that? Yeah, we're gonna just do this one. I'm gonna do 5, 1, 5. Make this neon. Okay. So now we're gonna call this wave, right? And then we're gonna make sure wave is calculate false and anchor true. Then we're gonna bring wave to meshes. So now that we have that, we want to go to the combat system, right? So now, since we're doing the block, we have to change this up a bit. So under this if statement, right, I'm gonna drop a few lines so we can separate it. What we're gonna do is local block action, right? Remember that we made the block action here and we have to reference it here. We're gonna have to reference it again, but in this script, right? So enemy humanoid dot find first child block action, right? So if it finds block action, then it will count towards breaking, right? And else if block, well, else, actually else, we could just use else. Else will represent if it's not found, then it will do damage since they are not blocking, right? And what we can do is just take this and put it in place of that right there, right? And now we still have the normal damage. So I think I'm gonna do counts for block break. How many hits you can take before it like breaks your block. So if we go back to blocking system, what we want to do is change it from bool value to number value, right? And then we're gonna set block action dot value. Let's say 5 hits. You can take only 5 hits. We're gonna set it to 5, right? Then go back to combat system. We're gonna do block action dot value is equal to block action dot value minus 1, right? So every time you get hit while you're blocking, it takes 1 away. And then if block action dot value is equal to 0, then actually we're gonna do if statement too right here. So if block the value is greater than 0, then it's gonna subtract 1, and else if block action dot value is equal to 0, then so we can remove this. So now this is where it's gonna break the block, like break their guard. And since we already have tween service here, yeah, we can do that. Okay, so what we want to do is play the break animation on the enemy. So what we want to do is we're gonna call it break is equal to e enemy humanoid load animation enemy anims brackets 5. 5 is the last spot, I believe. Yeah, 5. And instead of enemy anims, it has to be e anims actually. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna do break play. So now when they get their guard broken, they will play. And to test this, we're gonna put a number value in the humanoid of this dummy. and we're gonna call it block action, right? And then if we play, sorry for the recount. Okay, so if we play, and we're gonna go to the dummy, since it's blocking, I'm gonna open up workspace real quick, click on the dummy, go to the humanoid and click on block action. I'm gonna go to the server side because I need to set it to 5, right? I'm gonna set it to 5 and come back here and it's set to 5, right? And then we're gonna punch the dummy. So I wonder why it only did 1. I mean not 1, but a lot. Let's get it to 0 then. Oh, because I gotta remove the hitbox as well. Okay, that's why. So now, before I do this actually, let's do stop. Make sure block action is set to 5. It can be set to any number. I just have it like the block script set it to 5. So now when we test, he shouldn't like flinch or anything. Even though he doesn't have like the block animation, he has that block action part. So now when we punch him once, goes to 4, 3, 2, 1. Then it breaks his guard. So actually, do I want it like this? So 5 hits and then a 6th hit, it will break their guard. Actually, I can do it this way. I don't need an else if. As long as that, bam, and change it to that, right? So now it should break in 5 hits rather than 6, and to be more accurate. So we're gonna come right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? He did that the block break animation. So now that we have that, we want to make the effect. So we're gonna do local wave is equal to meshes. Wait for child wave, right? Then clone it. Wave.cFrame is equal to the enemy's humanoid root part. .cFrame a wave dot orientation is equal to wave dot orientation plus vector 3 dot new, I think 9000, then wave dot parent is equal to, I think we have a folder up here. Yeah, parent it to the folder. I just realized we're gonna need to do something with that folder. That's actually good that I didn't use the breeze. Let's see. Actually, we're gonna make another folder actually. So no point about that. Instead of hitbox being removed at 0.5, we're gonna remove the folder right at 0.5 seconds. Then remove that. Then we're gonna make a new folder. We're gonna call this effects. We're gonna instance dot new folder workspace effects dot name. So go to player dot name concatenate effects. They're gonna parent this to effects, right? So if this works correctly, it should be like vertical. So he has 5 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and bam, it's vertical. Now I'm gonna do -90, just so it's like facing the opposite way. And then we're gonna do a tween, so local goal is equal to brackets goal dot size is equal to wave dot size plus vector 3 dot new 10 0 10, because we don't want to increase the thickness of the ring. So local inflow is equal to tween inflow dot new, let's do 0.5. Local tween is equal to tween servers creates wave inflow goal tween play, and we're gonna make the transparency go away too. Goal dot transparency is equal to 1. And then we're gonna do debris add item effects dot, well not dot but 0.5 seconds, and we're gonna play. Okay, so now that we have that, 2, 3, 4, 5, and bam. So you broke his guard. So now if I want the players to feel that like feedback, right? What I want to do first is I want to disable this function real quick, just so we can test it in studio, because I don't have anybody here testing it with me. So we're gonna disable that function real quick. I'm gonna come here, and what we need to do is find the player. So I'm gonna use a function. We're gonna use local enemy. So we're gonna call it enemy is equal to I don't want to say. We're gonna do a spawn function actually as well. So we're gonna do spawn function, so it can ignore like this and keep going as well, like it doesn't like yield the script. So local enemy is equal to game get service players, and then colon or dot. It's a dot get, no, it's colon get player from character, and then we're gonna do enemy humanoid dot parent, which is the character, and then what we want to do is if enemy. So if we found the player itself, then what we want to do is navigate to that backpack. So local backpack is equal to enemy find first child backpack. If backpack is, I can't type, if backpack, then now we need to call on this folder. So local combat system is equal to backpack colon find first child combat system, and if combat system, then local is broken, because that's the thing we're gonna need to change to true, is equal to combat system colon find first child is broken if is broken, right? Then is broken dot value is equal to true, and then let's say the stun chance, well not the stun chance, but the stun like length of when their guard is broken could be maybe the same length as how long it takes for them to cool down their block. So then we're gonna set it back to false after that. So in order to truly test this, we're gonna go into a local test, like local server test with 2 players. Okay, so just now, so they joined. So now we're going to, I'm gonna open up the Explorer, right? Go to the players. This is player 1. Yeah, this is player 1. So we're gonna go in the backpack, and I also want to open up properties as well. It's broken, right? You want to pay attention to that. We're gonna press Q, so we're blocking. Switch to this target so I can show you. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I broke his guard, right? And see, he couldn't do anything, but now he can. And you still see like the animation thing. We can just stop that by going to the server script right here. We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna go back to this, and I don't want to do, yeah. So this doesn't yield the script. So now we have blocking and like a sort of stun mechanic. So when they're blocking and their block gets broken, then they get stunned for 3 seconds, and you can pretty much beat them and win. So this concludes to part 3, or this concludes the combat series, the basic combat series tutorial. I feel like we might be able to do more, but we'll see. I am gonna do an advanced one with like different combats and like combos and stuff like that, but that'll be later on. But if you enjoyed this series, leave a like, sub, share. If this was helpful and helpful and actually beneficial, then yeah, leave a like. Let me know in the comments what you made, and hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.